All right, let's do this. Let's talk a little Miami Dolphins. Omar Kelly and the Ejdconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. We're going to do that next. There's many ways to support our program, from subscribing and liking the show to visiting our terrific sponsors. Another way is using Cash App. If you would like to donate to the show and help us grow, download Cash App and search Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We appreciate your support as we continue to build the best sports show on the planet for South Florida sports fans. Support the Big O Show by using Cash App and donate to Cash Big O Show. Thank you for your incredibly loyal support.
The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
Righty. It is time to rock and roll, baby. Yes, it's the segment you guys look forward to all the time, twice a week, right here. Omar Kelly and the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. Let's get into it. Oh, how was your weekend, sir? You doing all right? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait. Let's try it. Let's try it again. You got to unmute. Here we go. All right, go ahead now. Oh, wait. Let me do it. There we go. Go ahead.
Okay. Baby's sick, so she's home with me now. Did not go to daycare, and I'm daddy daycare today. So luckily I timed it just right, and I have her falling asleep right before my EJDconstruction.com segment with Big O.
All right. I like it. And I like what I saw again on Saturday night, man. I thought the boys looked good. I know the Falcons rested some guys.
Rested some guys. That was first team versus second team. What you talking about?
But, hey, at least they dominated. They did what they were supposed to do. In the past, I've seen where sometimes they struggle against backups, or backups struggle against other backups, and then we're complaining about depth and all that kind of stuff. Listen, you wanted them to go out and do what they were supposed to do against the second team, and they did it, dude. And I don't think you can ask for more than that.
And let's make sure that we put it where people can reach it. They did it with not really their first string wide receivers. I mean, Tua looks good and efficient, and he hasn't had at least 5 of his best weapons yet from a receiver standpoint. But what I've always said, and it's true, this is a deep team from a receiver standpoint, from a tight end standpoint, and from a running back standpoint. I think because of Patrick Laird's sort of resurrection, because he didn't really start out camp strong, I think they've got 4 quality backs that can help them. They've got 5 to 4 quality tight ends. I do see Ethan Carter making the 53 initially and then being put on IR. I broke down today my projection of the 53-man roster is coming out on the Sun Sentinel, and I'm excited for people to see that. And I'll break it down to you. I got 8 receivers on my 50.
How much did it pain you to put in Jakeem Grant that made the team, huh? How much did it pain you?
We'll see. I still believe that some team is going to offer up a nice little 5th-round pick, and Jakeem will be shoppity shopped.
You are delusional. There's no shot they get rid of him.
There is no shot they get. There is no shot that they release.
Did you watch somebody take a shot to the knee on Saturday night?
Listen,
huh? That was a reminder. Keep Jakeem around.
Yeah, okay, all right, that's fair. That's a good point.
I've been telling you that from day one. You're not going to put Jaelan back.
Here's my point. Just hear me out. Tua got nobody but Jalen Waddle, and yet Jakeem hasn't stepped up, right? So
talk about he makes every play they throw to him. What?
I'm not. We're not discussing Jakeem Grant anymore. We're done. It's over. I got 8 receivers. Jakeem happens to be one of them. I really do believe that they can fit 8 on from this standpoint. Fuller's going to be suspended week 1, so he doesn't even count against your 53.
I got you.
Devontae and Lynn Bowden. I saw Lynn Bowden barely be able to walk on Saturday after the game. Looks like he's headed to IR. He'll be there for, they got – and Devontae, I really think you could put Devontae on IR to begin the season. If he doesn't practice this week, it's IR you go for me because –
I think they're slow walking that one. I think they're in
They
no
are.
hurry.
They
Yeah,
are.
I bet you he can play if he had to.
One of the two, Devontae or Preston, need to go on IR for me to make my receiver unit and room the way that I need it to be. Somebody got to do 3 weeks on IR. So
why you got to put either one of them out? How come both can't play? I don't
because I want to make sure that I keep everybody that I want to keep, and that means somebody has to go on IR for 3 weeks. So
let's put somebody that's actually injured. I don't think
Devontae's injured.
I don't think so. I bet you he can play if they really wanted him to play.
When they start doing that every other practice thing, they're injured. He's got some soft tissue injury, which Devontae always has. And it's basically be smart about it and have Devontae ready for the regular season. If he doesn't practice this week, I think that this is way more serious than they've let on. Because remember, he practiced every other week, like 2 weeks ago, every other day, 2 weeks ago. Then they shut him down completely.
Right,
so
that's true.
They shut him down completely. It wasn't like, oh, let's do rehab assignment. No, it was you're shut down. So this is something a little bit more serious than what they're letting on. And thank God they got to tell you what the injuries are when the regular season arrives. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I disagree with you. I don't think they keep 8. There's no shot in hell. I think it's 6 with a possible 7. And I'm
hold on. Understand my 8 is with Fuller going on. Fuller being suspended. So that gives me an extra spot. So really I'm at 7. And right now, Lynn Bowden Jr. is going to be initially on the IR, initially on the 53, but then go on IR. Hopefully they'll claim some players and then use him as a roster spot till he gets healthy. So that's really 6. So I'm at 6. I'm realistically at 6. And Devontae gives me a little bit of flexibility right here.
Yeah. For week 2, let's just put it this way. I got Parker, Preston, Waddle, Fuller, Hollins, and Grant. That's your 6. And if they keep 7, obviously it's between Bowden, Foster, Merritt, and Perry. Battling.
It's not even a debate. It's Bowden. And
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I would agree. With
that. And I think it's easy you do that. You put him on IR. You keep him first day on 53, and then IR the next day. He could barely walk when I saw him with that. He's got a hamstring strain.
They may try to sneak, and you can sneak Merritt onto the practice squad. He's looked
good.
Yeah.
Merritt, I like him. But even if somebody claims him, I'll get another go round with him. So, it's not, and understand Merritt is a guy who's got some significant baggage to him. So it's not like every team's just going to be like, yeah, come on down. Let me add you to
I know, but I got to give the kid credit. He has played well.
He's not only, and the funny thing is the guys that I could always tell with like Sam Eguavoen, he had been practicing well before he went out with COVID. And the guys who practice well, like Isaiah Ford, and you forgot about Isaiah Ford, even though he's
done. And notice what I told you from day one. Albert Wilson ain't making this team.
Well, Albert Wilson is absolutely making this team, no question.
No, he's not. He's not even on my. He's not even in my. Bro, he's not even the 10 I talked to you about.
Major oversight on your part, by the way.
He's done. He's a limited player. He's hurt and limited. He can only help your receiver. If he's not a starter, Omar, he cannot make this team.
Albert Wilson was your top playmaker I've seen in a Dolphins uniform in a practice for 14 years.
And broke down again.
Nah, he's being rested. Trust me. He's done more than enough.
So Parker's not healthy.
No. Parker's definitely not healthy because he went from every other day practicing to completely shut down for 2 weeks. Trust me, Parker's not healthy.
I don't know how you see Wilson making it. He's unreliable.
Wilson was the most dynamic player that I've seen in a Dolphins uniform since Brandon Marshall in 2009, the first week that he practiced. And then he shut it down. And It's a groin or a calf or I don't know what it is. But the Dolphins were like, yeah, you good, shut it down. Wilson is without a doubt not just on this roster. You're creating plays for him.
I think he's the guy they try to trade.
No.
He's the guy they try to trade.
Nah, not even happening. Not even. Wilson, the way he was balling, oh, man. Like what you would expect. If I would have put any name on Albert Wilson's plays, Dolphin fans would be so excited right now. If I said Jaelan Waddle was making Albert Wilson's plays or Will Fuller was making Albert Wilson's plays or Preston Williams was making Albert Wilson's plays, y'all would be talking about Pro Bowls. How quickly you forget about Albert Wilson, the guy who led the league in yards after the catch before he suffered that hip injury.
Well, that's what my problem. He had the hip injury. Now he's injured again, and then he stepped out for COVID.
So is everybody else in the receiver room. What you want? So is everybody else in the receiver room.
So you had another injury guy?
Everybody else is injured?
And not only is he an injury guy, he's also limited. He doesn't help you out on special teams. That's why the guys on the back end that I picked are the guys that are two-way players that can help you out in special teams. Matt Collins is on this damn team because he's horrific as a receiver, and he's a deadly special teams player. The guy's awesome.
Yeah, Matt Collins has earned his roster spot. So has, I'm not going to say somebody else.
Jackie Grant, baby.
Listen. If we're apples and oranges, like if we're just comparing the two, Albert Wilson's here, Jakeem Grant is way down here in terms of hierarchy roster spot.
You realize that Jakeem Grant is the more decorated player and the more accomplished player, right? Albert Wilson's been nothing but a backup his entire career.
What is Jakeem? Is a return specialist. He's not even a receiver. You're not going to have me talk about Jakeem Grant.
A return specialist.
No more Jakeem Grant slander.
He's an elite return specialist. Elite. Okay? Jakeem Grant is elite. Albert Wilson is an elite in the cafeteria. Okay?
We'll
in the cafeteria.
We'll see what the season gets you. Who makes more plays? We'll see.
All right. Let's move over to the line. The way I'm looking at it, your boy is playing with a flat tire.
Who?
The best thing to do is start Eichenberg, leave Jesse as your sixth man, buy him time to recover, and he is obviously the most versatile guy you have, comfortable going left and right and playing multiple positions. I like what I saw from Eichenberg. I know it's
backups.
Okay, but at least what I like is that it looked to me fundamentally he played a pretty clean game. Even at times when he started to lose some battles, he was still trying to fight back and overcome it. I like what I saw from Eichenberg. I saw a more comfortable player. I know, but still, he's been struggling at times, and this is all new to him on the right side. I got to give him a little love, bro. I thought he played well.
I hear what you're saying, and I don't disagree with it, except for you're not factoring in Jesse Davis as the leader of that line.
I get that.
And I don't think it's.
Are you doing him a service if he's not healthy, doggy?
I'm not disagreeing with you. I said after OTAs, they should have went in on that knee, scoped it, got that loose cartilage taken care of, sat him out during training camp, and then maybe, bring him back about now. They didn't do that. That's not the route that they went. I understand exactly where you're coming from. Jesse says he's fine. Now,
come on, bro. They're all going to tell you they're fine. Plus, if they talk about their injury, they're going to the principal's office, and you know that.
And Jesse's talked about his injury because he knows I'm not no sucker. I'm not no fool. So you're not going to fool me on this is serious, and I am concerned. I think that they're going to ride Jesse till the wheels fall off, and I don't know if it's the better of the alternatives, because I will say this. Brian Flores is very adamant that he is going to start his best five. Whoever the best five is, that's who he's going to start, and he'll figure out where he plays them. So we'll see. But the question is Liam Eichenberg in that top five? Is he top 5 over Solomon Kindley, who I will say has redeemed himself primarily because he helps the pocket from a pass protection standpoint. While he gives you nothing in the run game, he keeps Tua's pocket a little bit more secure. It's hard to move all 350 pounds of him. So, hey, and if we want to, it's either you get running lanes or you get a secure pocket. Your choice.
By the way,
Hunt
had a really nice block a seal block that he opened it up beautiful for Gaskins on one of those.
I forget what that play was. I tweeted about it. I was it Gaskins?
Yeah, it was Gaskin.
Hunt, I don't worry about.
Hunt, that was a really.
I even think Austin Jackson will get it together.
He actually played all right too.
Against nobody.
He did a nice job. But the worst thing would have been if they played like shit, and then we're like, oh my god, you know what I mean? So
if it was Dante Fowler out there that he played like that, then I'd be like, and he redeemed himself after the tough week in Chicago, after a tough first joint practice. He redeemed himself and played well. I really have a high opinion of Austin Jackson. I think he's going to be an okay starting left tackle. I like Robert Hunt, especially at right guard. And I think he can even play right tackle. I'm not saying that he can't play right tackle, because that would be something I would consider if something happened to Jesse. But it really comes down to the top 5. Who's in that top 5? Right now, Jesse is number 1. He's not 4 or 5. Jesse's number 1. So it's hard for me to sit here, and I hear where you're coming from in terms of making him the utility guy, but it's hard for me to go from my number 1 offensive lineman needs to be my 6th guy. Like, no, Jesse's now, is he all the way healthy? No, but
that's the reason why. That's the only reason why I mention it, because I thought Eichenberg was comfortable enough, and I would imagine that this week they're going to give Eichenberg a boatload of playing time. You would play the whole line actually with Brissett this week. I would do that.
I would shut Jesse down. There's a number of players I would not practice would not play anymore, would not practice anymore. I
wouldn't play Tua this week.
I'm not sure I play this week either. I think we've seen enough. I think we know what's there, and it's as I said, and we talked about it in the last show that we did on Friday, and I'm glad we talked about it, because people have me pinned as a Tua hater, which is just factually inaccurate. I was behind Tua, tank for Tua the whole time for an entire year. You
had a bib on, I believe, in the combine when he was at the podium. I believe there was a bib under you, picking up all that drool that you had going on.
Listen. It is what it is, but it's about accuracy, anticipation, pocket presence. Things you cannot teach. You saw him work that pocket 3 times. It was so beautiful.
I call it football tango. I mean, it was doom, doom, doom. I mean, it was beautiful, and he stays up looking the entire time. They haven't had a young since Marino. They haven't had a young quarterback like that since Marino.
I don't.
None of their young guys.
I would never want to ever compare anybody to Marino on anything, but pocket presence is so elite. It's right, and I watch it in practice too. Even though there's no pass rush, he works on it. He practices it. He doesn't just sit there and stand in the pocket and know not that these. That's the thing about Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler, and people don't get this. Jay Cutler was a phenomenal practice player. When he knew nobody was going to hit him, he stand in that pocket and fire that thing.
Yeah, he's Jeff George, bro. Trust me.
Then when people were coming at him, trying to hit him, he played hot potato with the ball. He's like, "Oh no, pressure coming, gotta get rid of it."
Jeff George, same thing.
I learned from that. Tua, it's so beautiful to watch him practice. It truly is. Red zone, I can tell you, red zone 7-on-7s. If he throws 10 balls, 7 of them are touchdowns.
I can tell you this. Over the next couple of years, this will be the greatest red zone percentage offense for the Miami Dolphins in their history. You're going to have to go back to Marino or
Pennington was phenomenal. Red zone.
This kid's going to smoke everybody because he's got more athleticism than Pennington, so he's going to end up making more plays. What I'm saying is, on those plays that Pennington could not make a move because he can't move, those are the other plays, extra plays that Tua's going to end up making in that red zone. This will be the best red zone offense the Dolphins have had in decades now.
I don't know about this year, but in time, people got to understand.
Oh, this year he'll smoke everybody that's been the last 20 years, which is not saying much.
Pennington was. I think they had the best red zone offense in the NFL in 2008.
Yeah, and he threw a total of like 22 touchdowns. It's not. Trust me, this is going to be
Pennington was a very high bar.
Better weapons here, better offense here than that one.
Pennington is a very. If Tua becomes Pennington of 2008, I'm good. I'm satisfied.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, he'll become Pennington of 2008 on steroids. Instead of 22 touchdowns, it'll be 32, 33, 34 touchdowns. Watch. Go ahead.
So you'll see. I think he's going to be very good in time. I don't know about this season, but in time he's going to be very. He needs to see what defenses are going to throw at him.
Of course.
Create that archives. And when he does that, he's going to be very good.
Eguavoen, how do you view what has been going on with Eguavoen? Because I can tell you, Cam Wake had to go to the CFL for a couple years and figure things out and came back and made himself a player. Mark Dixon had to do the same thing. Is Eguavoen a solid backup, or is he the guy that maybe is now starting to come into his own and maybe he starts to be challenging for some starting playing time? How do you view?
I think that I have a high respect for Eguavoen. People don't remember when he came here from the CFL, he immediately unseated Raekwon McMillan and became the starter. Then he struggled, lost the job back to Raekwon, and they moved him to defensive end, which was a little bit odd. And they did that with the understanding or with the thought process of there's something special there as a pass rusher that we need to tap into. And this was the first camp where I was like expecting him to still be a defensive end or at least get moved to outside linebacker. And then here he is back as an inside linebacker. And I was like, huh? And so now we're watching him sort of put together the pass rushing that he spent a year working on with the inside linebacker skills and instincts. And I like what I see. I like an interior linebacker who's a blitz threat. Now you put him in that over, I don't know what they call it now. We used to call it elephant package back in many coaches ago, where everybody's standing up and everybody's hovering around and you don't know who's coming and you don't know who's going.
I love that formation.
Yeah, you put him in that.
Doesn't he call it the amoeba defense or something like
that?
Yeah,
something like that. I've been through so many damn coaches that we've called it so many damn different things. It sticks out to me as the elephant. From the standpoint, the elephant in the room is trying to identify who somebody they got to identify and what his role is and what he's doing. That's how I've always learned it. I don't really get the amoeba anyway, but that's just there you go. Flores one is not going to tell you what he really calls anything. So I don't know if that's a media made up name or if it's a Flores made up name. It is what it is. But I think I always thought he was on this roster. And as I said, coming out of Chicago, I thought he had been practicing well in Chicago. Then he gets popped with COVID, sits out, misses 2 joint practices, comes back, fresh legs. They clearly played the crap out of him. And literally when he's having the success that he's having, they just kept calling those plays. And he kept eating. And I'm so proud of him because, I would say nobody has really had a tougher go of it during the Flores era because he's gone from CFL journeyman to NFL starter to disappointing starter bench to we got to change his position. He barely makes the team. We've got some injuries. He plays. He doesn't do well. Special teams, is he helping us? Is he not helping us? He's been the 47th guy on the roster for a year and probably will continue to be 47th guy on the roster. But now I think he's proven and done enough to show that, hey, I can be an NFL star.
What do you hear about Jaelan Phillips?
Oh, he played a crap load of snaps. I got to look at what the snap count was. If they played him that much, they got to feel that he's healthy, and they needed to make up the snaps that he lost in the first game so that they could have a body of film to look. He only had like one tackle during the game, so I watched the film. I didn't see anything glaringly bad nor glaringly good, so they clearly have work to do.
Waddle, does he play this week? Because I would imagine they'd hold him out this week after taking that shot. I love that he came back and everything, but man, that when I saw him wincing in pain on the field, I was like, no, man, this is not what we need right now, bro. I don't want to see this. I don't want to have this kind of news before the damn season starts.
If it were me, I would have shut him down after the injury, and he would not play next week. I said to some of my media friends before the game, I said, why the hell is Waddle playing? And people don't realize this. People don't want to believe this. He's not all the way healthy. And you could think whatever you want. I'm giving him those. They have 21 days from the point of the game on Saturday till they start the regular season. I'm giving him this week. He's not even practicing this week. That's just me. So we'll see. I'm saying all you broke up ass receivers, get on this practice field. Jaelan, sit your ass down.
Well, I think this week, because you and I agreed that this was the dress rehearsal.
Yes.
I think this week is the back end of the roster game.
Yes, it is.
Why play Waddle? This is where you want
no. But the guys who need work.
Let me tell you. Work. Your boy Albert Wilson, if his ass is healthy, you better get him out on the field a little bit, because if he doesn't get out on the field, then you're like, well, wait a minute. This guy only had a week and a half of great practice. What are we going to do? Put him on the regular season roster? That doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely. No question.
Trade his ass. Trade his ass. He's unreliable. Trade his ass. No, but I'm serious. Wilson is a kid that needs to play this week.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
He's
but
not reliable enough to say,
all those guys, they got to practice right now so we can see whether or not we need to put you on IR or not. Like you got to practice this week. It's time.
Right. Yeah.
It's time. Give me two.
Lim Bowden is another one that needs a lot of work this week too.
No, he's done.
All those kind of young guys.
He's done. Lim Bowden is he can barely walk, bro.
So he won't make it this week, you think?
No, he's not practicing this week. There's no way.
So then he's headed definitely for the IR.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys.
That's a safe move right there. That's a safe move. Right. You keep him on the initial 53. Next day you put him on the IR to make a spot for somebody you claimed off the waiver wire.
What else did you come away with on the offensive line? Like Dieter. What'd you think of him?
I'm still undecided on Dieter. I understand they weren't playing nobody against Atlanta. Like
I get that, but you still have to do your job. And
you do.
The second stringer's still trying to embarrass you.
I would rather see Michael Dieter do his job against Grady Jarrett than nobody. So you understand what I'm saying? It'll be okay to start the season, but you know what's on my list of waiver wire claims? I'm going out there. One, I'm claiming a tackle, or maybe a guard, because I like what I saw from Greg Little in the first game. I was like, okay, I can work with that.
He's got talent.
And in fact, he was athletic enough. I said, maybe I could put him at left guard.
Yeah, remember that first year it was all injuries, and then then the new coaching staff came in, and it wasn't their guy, and then they brought in a whole bunch of other guys, and he kind of became a forgotten. He really hasn't had a full go yet to find out whether he's a successful player or a failure.
Yeah. So but I'm claiming a center. I'm claiming a cornerback, and I'm also claiming a running back. Those are the things that I'm being aggressive on the waiver wire with from this standpoint. You got Ahmed Salvan off the waiver wire, and he's your second best back. You never know what you can find on the waiver wire. You also need a cornerback to develop, because I just don't see a young guy on this roster that can really help me right now. Noah, they put him in the nickel, and it was bad. It wasn't good, and I'm starting to get a little bit concerned. And then obviously I want a center, because Matt Skura, I'm not sure he makes my team. I might waive him just so that I don't have to guarantee his contract, and then maybe bring him back week 2. Now I know I'm being greedy, but I don't want to guarantee his contract for the whole season. And I'm just not real comfortable with what I've seen during training camp.
Yeah, Skura hasn't necessarily been impressive at all.
No.
Overall, he's been very pedestrian, let's just say. He hasn't been terrible, but
he's been terrible.
But he's been pedestrian, I would say.
32 teams, there are going to be 32 centers out there. At least 32 centers out there. Like, you telling me one can't help you? One can't come in here and challenge Michael Dieter? Like, I know there is. I know there's got to be.
No, if they're releasing them, I doubt they're releasing anybody that's starting caliber at this point. That might be a little too much of a stretch. I think you could try to find a good backup.
We didn't think Michael Dieter was a starting caliber player too. So let's
but he's a third round pick that you drafted and you've developed.
Yeah. And there's going to be there's going to be Greg Littles out there, man. There's going to be Greg Littles out there. A new coaching staff, new regime.
Right.
They want their guys. They want to invest in their guys. They're gonna do. Let me find a player that's probably gonna get shoved out the door here. Jason Strobridge. They're gonna Jason Strobridge their guy, and you never know. You never know what you could find and develop and pick up. I'm a big waiver wire guy. I've always been.
Does Strobridge make the team, by the way? No.
Practice squad, him and Ledbetter.
Practice squad. Yeah.
Him and Ledbetter. And in fact, I think Ledbetter is more of a priority. Ledbetter's played better than Strobridge.
He's played better, actually. Yeah, he's played better.
He's played better. So
Strobridge has a size issue, I think. It looks like it, right? He's not a big guy.
He's a jag.
Yeah.
He's a jag.
He's a late round pick.
Yeah.
Running backs. So you have Laird making it, you think? Because
Laird is probably my 50. Laird is probably my 52nd player.
Damn. Because if you got them searching for a back, then you got Laird's job on the line.
I do.
That's what I was saying.
I do. I mean, I'm gonna put him on my practice squad when nobody claims him. But
I like him as a receiver. I don't like him at all running the ball.
No, he's done better. He's done better running the ball, and there's something to him that Laird is going to be running an NFL team in like 10 years, and I think no matter what, he's going to be around here. But I don't know if I keep him on my 53. I just feel like you can do better. And I don't have Dokes making it either. Dokes is on my practice squad. He
caught the only pass they threw to him this week, so he did all right. He got what was it, like 9 for 30 or something?
Those hands, man. Those hands, they need some work. He needs a whole year with a jugs machine.
He caught one. So who are your backup offensive linemen right now?
Adam Pankey, Greg Little, Adam Pankey. And then I've got Skura making it just barely, but he's you know how I feel. If I can claim there are 32 centers gonna be out there, Big O. 32.
Yeah.
32. You got a whole scouting staff. Scouting every single game in this league. Somebody needs to come home with a center.
Wow, that's 32 third and fourth string centers.
Hey, no. Some second string. Okay, you're right. Third and fourth string center. Somebody's got to come home with a center. Somebody is out there just chewing people up, and he just can't find a spot on the Green Bay Packers, or he's on a veteran line where they're gonna keep like New England, where they're just gonna keep all the vets, but he's out there tearing people up. I don't know who he is, but somebody on the staff needs to go find him.
One more thing before I let you go. Gaskin locked it up, right? I mean, if there was any doubt
there was no doubt
that Ahmed may be able to challenge.
Ahmed is better than him as a pass catcher.
I agree.
Ahmed is really Reggie Bush-esque.
Yeah,
he's got that Reggie Bush thing where he's just, if you put him on a linebacker, that linebacker is toast. But Ahmed cannot pass protect to save his life. He nearly got Tua killed in that game, and I almost blamed that on Solomon Kinley. And I was just about to roast Solomon, and then I watched the replay, and I saw it was Ahmed. I was like, oh Lord, I cannot have him back there.
I was sitting behind you. I caught you. You were typing in Jakeem Grant, actually.
Oh,
that's who you were going to blame it on. I
no.
mean, I'm like, come on, bro. Why are you blaming Jakeem on here?
No.
Is that how much?
Listen, there will be from August 23rd, which is today, up until August 31st, there shall be no more Jakeem slander from me. God bless him. God bless him. Listen, Jakeem he's already earned my respect as a return specialist. I know who he is as a receiver. He's not going to help you. But you know what? He still belongs in the NFL. So, props to him.
Yes. I mean, Devin Hester, absolutely. Devin Hester was a worse receiver than he was. Okay. Devin Hester should be in the Hall of Fame. Okay.
Devin Hester does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
And returner? Damn, he's the greatest returner ever.
Since when did we put people in the Hall of Fame just for their return roles?
If we're putting them for punting, god damn it, we're putting them in for returns.
Not first ballot. I will discuss it.
I didn't say first ballot, Omar. I just said he belongs.
No. People are talking about him being a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I'm bothered by that.
I didn't say first ballot. I just said, if you're the greatest returner in the history of the game, if you're going to put the greatest fucking field goal kicker punter, you better put in the better returner. Right? You're speechless. Of course, because they make a difference.
My first ballot, this is the year for Zach, and this is the year for Zach because it's weak from a first ballot standpoint. There's DeMarcus Ware, and then Vince Wilfork, in my mind, belongs in the Hall of Fame as a first ballot guy. And then after that, there's 3 more spots. One is going to a receiver, so it's probably going to go to Reggie or Reggie Wayne. But after that, there's 2 spots available, and I don't want it going to Devin Hester over Zach Thomas. Okay, hell no.
That's not what I'm talking. I don't care.
No,
if Devin
people
Hester
are talking about him being a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Okay, that's fine. But if he makes it 5 years from now, my point is he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Devin Hester is the greatest returner in the history of the game. Okay. I mean, you got to put certain guys like that are super special, man. And the league is littered with guys like that, like Brian Mitchell. You don't want his ass as a running back, but you definitely wanted him as a returner because he was one of the best ever. You know what I'm saying? What Jakeem is doing is nothing new. We had a guy named Fulton Walker here for the Dolphins in the early 80s. You didn't want him doing anything else but returning, but he was great at returning. And so these are things that sometimes we have to give some of those I'm not saying Jakeem, but a guy like Devin Hester, who had a career of changing the face of a game, I would put his ass in the Hall of Fame, man. Not first ballot. I don't want to get you mad.
Yeah.
But
I'm all right with he's in.
4th, 5th, 6th go around, whatever. You know what I mean? I would put him in, man. He's as special as they get, man. He is as special as they get. All right. What are you expecting this week before I let you go?
Scrubs for Cincinnati. Okay. Scrub hour. And for guys battling for roster spots.
All right. What are you working on the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out, my friend?
53-man roster projections coming out today. Working on some other pieces and getting our special section stuff locked and loaded I wrote a piece on the RPO offense and why this is perfect for Tua and why everything that they've done is building towards the RPO. So we'll see.
There you go. Follow him on Twitter.
I was shocked that they showed it.
Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly. Make sure you smash the like button there while you're watching the show or while you're listening to the podcast. We will catch you on Friday, my friend. You have a fantastic week, sir.
All right. You too, big up.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.